In this video, we're going to take a look at the clock app on the iPad. With the clock app, this is where we can set our alarms, our stopwatch, timers, as well as see what time it is in different time zones. Let's take a look at the clock app on the iPad. Let's go over to my iPad. Now let's first look at the icon here. I have the clock app here. This icon will reflect what time it is. Now right now it is showing 9:41 and the second hand is stuck at the top. Why is that? I thought it was showing what time it was. Well, when you screen share, which is what I'm doing to record this, what Apple did as a tribute to Steve Jobs is they just show 9:41. Why 9:41? Well, that's when Steve Jobs introduced the iPhone. So that is why this is stuck at 9:41. If you were to look at it on your iPad, you would actually see the current time along with the second hand actually sweeping there. All right, with this clock app, what we're able to do is make it a little bit larger. We can easily resize it. So if you want to make this clock a little larger, what you do is you just long press on it. And then what you need to do is you need to tap on that icon right down there. When I tap on that, watch what happens. The clock app gets a little bit larger. Makes it a little easier to see. To make it the standard size again, we just long press on it. And then we tap on that icon right there. And when I do, it brings it back to its normal size. Okay, so that's the icon for the clock app. What about the different features, including the world clock, alarm, stopwatch, and timers? Well, let's go ahead and open it up to take a look at these individual features. Up at the top is where we set what we want to look at. We're going to start out with world clock. We're going to go from left to right. The world clock is where we can easily see what time it is in different time zones. So right now in Dallas, it is 4:17. Well, in Juneau, it is 1:17. To add different time zones in here, what we do is we tap on the plus, and when I do, I can select the city that I want to add. So I'm going to go with Acapulco here, and we can see that it is 3:20 over in Acapulco. And what we can do is we can move these around. So I just drag it and I can move them around. And then above it, we can see all the different cities that we've added. And you're going to also see that we have a little divider here where it sets where it's day and night. So over in London, everyone's sleeping. While over in the Americas here, everyone is awake, or it's daytime. And then last, if you want to edit this, if you want to remove one of these, what I do is I tap on Edit, and then what I'm able to do is tap on the minus and remove that. And now I tap on the check mark here to accept the changes. So that's the world clock. Pretty simple. Actually, most of these features are pretty simple. Now let's take a look at alarms. So I'm looking at my alarms here. You can see that I have two alarms, 1 and 2. Both of them are off. If I want to turn one on, all I do is just tap on the slider here and I can turn it on. I'm going to turn it off. I don't want it to go off at 7:30 a.m. I can also edit these. To edit it, what I do is I just tap on it, and then I can go and edit this. So what are the different options for editing? Well, I can set when it repeats. I can also create a label. This one is set for bedtime, but actually 7:30 in the morning. I am a late nighter, but 7:30 in the morning is not when I go to bed. This should be when I wake up. So I'm going to tap on this, and we're going to change this to wake up. So then what I'm able to do is see what each alarm is for. I can change the sound for it. So now I'm able to know which alarm it is based on the sound. And then I can set if I want to snooze, and with snooze I can set the duration. By default it is for 9 minutes, which is the standard time for snooze, but if I wanted to change that, I could change that. To save your changes, you just tap on the check mark here, and now those changes are saved. So now we can see it says wake up here. I'm going to turn this back off. To add a new alarm, we tap on the plus in the upper right-hand corner. And now I can add a new alarm. We have all of the same features. I can set the time, repeat, the label, the sound, the snooze, and the snooze duration. When you are done, you can just tap anywhere outside of this area here You can tap anywhere in there, or what you can do is you can tap on the check mark. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cancel this. I don't want to add this, so I'm going to tap on the X. When you tap on the X, it cancels it. If we want to remove an alarm, all we do is we just go over here to Edit, and then we tap on Edit, and I can remove an alarm. So I'm going to remove this alarm here, tap on the minus, and that alarm is no longer there. Tap on the check mark here to accept any changes. And that is alarms. Pretty basic again. Now let's take a look at Stopwatch. I tap on Stopwatch, and from here I'm able to start a stopwatch. Now this one is really basic. Basically what I can do is I can start it. Let's go ahead and start it. And then if I want to check the lap, tap on lap. The timer is still going. You can see that we have our lap times here. I can tap on lap again. We're going to get another one. And then if I want to stop it, I tap on stop. And now it has stopped it. If I want to start it again, I tap on start here. It starts it. So really what the stop here is a pause. It doesn't necessarily stop. It does stop the timer, but it also pauses it. And then you can start it from that same time. If you want to reset it, what you need to do is you need to stop it here, and then you go over here to reset. So I'm going to tap on reset, and then it resets it. And then our last one here is timers. Let's go ahead and take a look at timers. Now, when we first look at our timers, it's only going to show one timer here. I do have recents down at the bottom here, but if we look, we can see that I only have one timer here. What I'm able to do is set the duration for it, as well as label that timer, and then set what sound it's going to play when it ends. That's basically the options we have with timers. Now, I thought we could add multiple timers. How do we do that? Well, what we need to do when we only have this one timer here, what we need to do is we need to start the timer, and when I start it, you're going to see that I have a plus up here. So this is just a little bit quirky. If you don't have any timers, the first thing you need to do to add multiple timers is start a current timer, and then you're going to see the plus. So I'm going to tap on the plus here. And we're just going to go and add a new timer so I can set the duration just like before. I can set the label as well as when the timer ends, what sound it's going to play when the timer ends. And then I can base this off of a preset or recents. So we're just going to base this off of 3 minutes. And now you can see I have multiple timers. So I have 1 and 2. I'm going to pause both of these. I just tap on the pause button on each one. So I have 2 timers there, and then I also have my recent timers here. Now that I have multiple timers, what I'm able to do is add new timers. So that's a little quirky. If you don't have any timers, you first need to start a timer, and then you can go and create multiple timers. To delete a timer, all you need to do is just tap on the X here. We really don't have an edit. In the other features, we have to tap on edit. It looks like the timer app here doesn't have an edit. All we do is just tap on the X. So I'm going to tap on that X. And now that timer is removed. And what do you think is going to happen to this button here when I go and tap on this X here? It's going to bring me back down to a single timer. So let's go ahead and do that. And lo and behold, we no longer have that plus there. So that is how we work with the clock app on the iPad. Basically what we're able to do is view the different time zones. We can view times in different cities through the world clock. We also have alarms where we can set an alarm and we can change the sound of that alarm as well as label that alarm. We have a stopwatch, and then we have timers, which again we can set a label on it and we can set what the sound is when that timer is done. All of these are accessible through the clock app, as well as some of the features are accessible through Siri. So that is how we work with the clock app on the iPad. Now, if you found this video helpful, what you may want to do is like the video. You can subscribe to my channel. You can share it with your friends and family. In addition to that, I also have a couple more options if you want to help support my efforts in creating these videos. I have danstutorials.com as well as dansonlinecourses.com. With danstutorials.com, it's a membership-based site, and not only do I have more videos there, but I also have an AI assistant modeled after an Apple Genius. When you become a member, what I'll do for you is I'll take out all of the ads from the videos, and you have access to that AI assistant. If you don't like memberships, which is basically a subscription, if you don't like subscriptions, I also have dansonlinecourses.com. On this site, I have courses. As of this recording, I only have one for the iPhone, but I'm creating one for the iPad, which will include this video, and then eventually I'm going to also create one for the Mac. When you purchase the course, it's a one-time purchase, and you get all the videos for that course, so it is not a subscription. With either one of these, just know that you are helping support a small business. It is just me in a corner office of my house. I'm not part of some large organization. So when you become a member or purchase a course, you are directly affecting or directly supporting my efforts in creating these videos. Check out danstutorials.com or dansonlinecourses.com for more information, and thanks for watching.